Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video. And in this one, we have two huge topics we're going to be covering. So this one, we're going to be talking a little bit about some speculation, and we're going to be talking about some facts that came from the ladies of the VeVe community. So yeah, shout out to the ladies of the VeVe community. Make sure you all show them love, subscribe. I'm going to leave some links down below in the description so y'all can check them out. But yeah, like listening to the female perspective, I was actually in the live stream that they hosted with Reese the other day, and listening to the female perspective, it really gave me a lot of different insights, and it actually made me even more bullish on the project. And you all are going to see how after this video, but before we even jump into that, we're going to talk a little bit about Trevor and the VeVeverse and some of the things going on right now, because I know that Trevor gets some hate on Twitter. I don't know if he sees it. He probably doesn't even care. He doesn't see it more than likely, but a lot of people don't like Trevor because of how open he is with his opinions. And a lot of people don't respect the things that he says because as a game developer, he seems to really be in the know with what goes on behind the scenes. But a lot of people don't want to believe it. A lot of people are super bullish and don't want to believe the facts when he spit it to them. But I actually always get great insights from listening to Trevor personally. And one thing that I'm noticing, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but if you look on his Twitter account, if you look on some of my posts and the posts that he's been responding to, he's been talking a lot about gaming in the NFT space. I don't know if you all have noticed this, but VeVe has said that the VeVeverse is going to come out, and now they're talking about gaming and gamification, and Trevor is constantly looking up more information on this. So this tells me that VeVe is about to start making some moves towards gamification. And while everyone thinks that VeVe is going to be behind compared to certain companies and things like that, VeVe is going to be ahead because of the licenses. Like you talk about the first AAA NFT project. Look who VeVe has been working with the entire time. Like, come on now. These same AAA studios VeVe have been working with the entire time. Come on now. Come on. Like, their lead guy is from Riot. So, like, people want to talk about the levels and stuff like that. Like, he was a junior. He was a junior. He was small. He wasn't that important. Like, come on now. Everybody's important, bro. Everybody's important. He's working on some of the biggest games in the world. Everybody's important. But, yeah, before we jump into it, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications. And let's get it. Let's look at this. So, just 3 hours ago, describe what makes your favorite NFT play-to-earn game fun to play without talking about its growth, investments, flipping, money-making potential, etc. I want to find one that's just fun to play and easy to get into for someone who isn't already deep into crypto. Let me tell you why this is important and why Trevor is asking the right questions that people aren't even thinking about right now. VeVe is attracting. VeVe is its intentions is to get mass adopted. Its intentions is that VeVe is going to be worldwide, global. They can potentially have hundreds of millions of people on this app, especially with all these licenses. These brands, the fans that already support these brands easily can get 100 million people, right? So the way that they're going to get mass adopted and really be super successful is if their game, the game that they make, like the gaming aspects, can somewhat compete on the same level as some of the other NFT games. And maybe, like, from how Trevor speaks, if they go about this, if they do this, they want to be able to compete with actual games, not NFT games. Like, I don't think, I think that he's kind of doing research right now, digging into what NFT games are hot and who's maybe doing it okay. But everything that I've heard Trevor say, he has a mindset where he's not trying to go after the NFT games. Like, these guys are at the top of the bottom. He's trying to go after the top of the top. Like, so when I say things like Fortnite, GTA, and things like that, obviously VeVe, we're not expecting VeVe to be able to come out of the gate competing with games like this. But the goal is, I don't know if it's year 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what year when this happens, but the goal VeVe is going for is targeting those level of games, not the level of the NFT games, which is already very, very important. But check this out. Like, look at his other tweets. Are NFTs in gaming actually exciting on their own, or is it really the play to earn concept that's most exciting? He was talking about the Apple case. We talked about that. Some new tech. We're building so much new stuff right now. All I want to do is build more. So on the September 9th, he talked about building more. Then he started asking about NFT games and all the NFT games that's going on right now and popping right now. So basically, from what I see, it looks like they're starting to deep dive these other projects and starting to really find out the direction that they're going to start with when it comes down to the VeVeverse. Not where they're going to end, because obviously I don't think that there's an end point. I think they'll always be improving, always having updates, patches, and things like that. But it has to start with a really good idea that can compete with the best games in the world. And I think that he's at that stage where he's doing some research. He's coming up with some ideas. I'm sure some other people in the company are coming up with some ideas and have some thoughts and stuff like that. So I think that people need to start realizing Trevor is a very, very smart guy. And I think that VeVe, like, this is the reason that I'm confident VeVe is going to be one of the strongest games. It could have one of the strongest gaming sides as well. Like, I really believe that, because like he's talking about play to earn games right now. And I know that he keeps asking questions where it's like, it doesn't sound like he's into the play to earn aspect, but that's not what it is at all. He's into the play to earn. Like, he likes it, but there's just no good games that's play to earn. So he's trying to figure out how to make a good game and then make that good game play to earn. So like, I think that they're in the blueprinting stages for this right now, and hopefully we can see something upcoming here. Hopefully we can see something. Because VeVe has some crazy connections. You all know that. So yeah, but let's get into the final part of this video, because this is what makes me even more bullish on the project. We're going to get even more bullish here. So let's get it. So shout out to the ladies.
For a lot of people who haven't invested before, investing in a company that is generating revenue is a very good thing.
And you're finna hear the part, like, Mandy is actually going to speak on it. She's going to speak on the part that really had me thinking about just how far VeVe could go, and just this is mind blowing. Like, what she says, I don't know how many people are going to pick up on it and catch it, but the second she said this, it just stuck with me. It stuck with me the second she said it. So listen to this.
Has anyone else here known of a startup that's created this much revenue in the first year? I mean, and I know technically it's not the first year, but the first year VeVe's been to the public. And even if the drops don't sell out in 1 second, and we know that's not your purpose, that's not your goal to sell out anyway, but even if it sells out within 1 day, 50% of businesses, shut down in the first year.
Now, we gonna stop it right here. First off, she hasn't said the part that I was talking about as of yet, but I know the ladies get underrated a lot, especially in the business world. But if you actually listen to the things that they say and things that they talk about, like, they are far ahead when it comes to understanding this project than a lot of the dudes out here speaking, and a lot of the haters and stuff like that. These girls, they really understand this project, man. They really understand this project. So I know that there's petty people who don't take certain opinions seriously for whatever biases that they may have, but listen, a good investor is going to consider all information. Like I said, when I was watching this, when I was listening to these ladies, something was said that you're gonna hear that literally shifted. Like, I never would have thought about this, because it has something to do with children, and I don't have kids. So I never would have even thought like this. I never would have considered it. So this is why it's important, because it brings a different perspective. In the male perspective, males is only one side of this planet. Females and children are a huge part of the planet as well. So, and the females are more likely to come up with the ideas like this. So, like, let's hear it out. Let's hear it out.
And yes, I know we're going to have the licensing costs and salaries and wages and this type of thing, but the way that the business is structured, we are going to get the maximum amount of profit, we as the shareholders or Omi holders or token holders. So it's a very interesting way. And you mentioned, the Omi token, being able to use that as well. And that's sort of where, over the next, I guess, couple of weeks, we're going to have to start changing strategies, because if you can say, for example, you don't have an extra, $200 or $300 to buy gems, okay, well, I'm going to pull my Omis over, and maybe you get a secret rare or an ultra rare, you sell it, you get your Omi bag, maybe you get 100,000 Omi in your transaction, and you move it back over. So that's where I see it going. But as you said, it's getting very difficult to let go of my collectibles. very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Not just because of the value. I mean, look at Marvel's one. We all knew it was going to happen, but all the floors on the commons are moving. And I know we're Common Club, but the AR is just mind blowing on these comics.
All right, listen up. Here we go. We're getting into it. But I just really wanted you all to hear the first part as well, so you can really understand. She knows what she's talking about. But let's get it.
But the AR is just mind blowing on these comics. And when you think about, I come from an education background. When we think about getting children into reading, I mean, especially, and I don't mean to be, gender, biased or not, but they say that boys specifically find it really hard to engage in reading, and comics are one of the ways they do that. So if we have, for all children, boys or girls, we have a way to incorporate reading into something that's so cool.
Think about that. This is an aspect that I never thought about at all. How this can impact schooling, the education system. Imagine VeVe having a part where like they use the comics and they use some of this stuff in schools to help people, to help the kids get started in reading, or to have a fun experience when they're reading. Like, imagine the games that could be created in a classroom, like, or VeVe itself in the VeVeverse could create literally a whole school part, a part that schools can use and sign up to, and literally it's just an AR world for learning type of thing. Like, VeVe could literally do that with NFTs, but obviously make them a little bit more affordable for schools and stuff to be able to buy. And like, listen, like, imagine having a section that's affordable for the school kids and just a whole learning center type of thing in the VeVeverse, man. Like, this is a whole aspect that I've never considered before. Like, schooling, I know the industries that NFTs can impact. I know the industries that VeVe could touch one day, could eventually touch. I know these industries. Like, I understand what, like, property, like real life property could be in here, like vehicles, real life vehicles, and anything where there's ownership and tickets, like concerts and movies and all this stuff. I know about that already. I have absolutely never considered schooling or education in this at all. But that comment alone, how it makes it easier for children to learn how to read, especially for people with short attention spans and stuff like that. Reading, this is something that could get a little kid excited about reading. And imagine if VeVe does come out with some comic books where there's a little animations here or a little animations there or something. And then let's say that they have such a great experience in class with the VeVe app. What are they going to do? Go home, do some homework with the VeVe app, and then explore the rest of the VeVeverse. Explore the stuff that's outside of their classroom and stuff in the VeVeverse. And what does that do? That shares this. That shares VeVe around even more. Their parents are going to see it, especially if the parents is helping with homework and stuff like that. And depending on what ages we're talking about here, and we're talking about learning how to read, so it's the young ages. So their parents are more than likely going to be involved. Like, this could be massive, man. So I just want, like, this train of thought that she put me in, I wanted to share this train of thought with you all so we could get some great conversations going about this, because this is amazing. And this is why it's important to hear out different perspectives and really understand where everybody's coming from, because just that idea right there can be taken so many levels higher, man. That like, just learn, like, being a greater way to teach kids how to read, bruh, like that opens so many doors to even think about how, okay, how can we use VeVe as a platform for education? Because if you look at look at the children's content on YouTube, Ryan's Toy Review is one of the highest paid channels on here. And what is VeVe? What does VeVe have? Technically a bunch of virtual toys. It's a bunch of virtual toys. So that's one of the biggest industries on YouTube already. One of the highest paid YouTubers already. So, yo, I just wanted y'all to be able to think about this. I wanted to get this in y'all head, so I'm not the only one thinking about this, stressing, happy, just going down this rabbit hole by myself. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. That's pretty much it, Joe. I just really wanted to get this in your head. Be sure to check out the rest of this if you haven't seen this, the Women of VeVe. Shout out to all the ladies. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Joe. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you stay updated. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you all on the next one. Peace out, Joe.